the Rix Optics Storm S6R. Let's check it out. When it comes to night vision, it gives you a superpower. You can see beyond what the normal human eye can see. And in the dark, it's very important, especially if it's a critical situation. Whether you're hunting or you're doing surveillance or you're just defending your property. And this gives you a way to be able to see. Now, we have our night vision, which is great to be able to identify. But we have thermal to be able to pick up heat signatures, and it's very difficult to hide from. It's a very compact scope, it's rugged, and it's very intuitive. So we're going to take a look at the Rix Storm S6R and check out a lot of the features. I want to give a big thank you to Rix Optics for sending the Storm S6R for this review and their help in making this video possible. All right, guys, we have the Rix Optics, and this is their Storm series. It's the S6R. Now, they have a number of different options. The S6R is really at the top of this series. It's a very compact, lightweight scope. It weighs about a pound, just a touch over, made from hard anodized aluminum, just very well done. And we have a Picatinny rail mounts QD on the bottom. And so we can just mount this very easily to any kind of optic rail or Picatinny rail. We have an eye cover here at the back. We have a cover here at the front. You just press in and it pops open. And this is really a very intuitive scope. And that's one of the big things that I like about it. We could get in the weeds. We're not going to. I'm going to hit a lot of the high points, but we are going to get into some details. Now, the R stands for laser rangefinder, and we have it right here, and it will go out to 1,300 yards. And actually, the detection for this scope is out to 1,969 yards. Now we have our focus ring here at the front, and then we have our diopter, which really allows for you to fine-tune your eyesight. And when Seth was shooting, he has great vision, so he didn't need to really adjust it. I needed to adjust this a little bit just to get that clearer image. Now it also runs on an 18650 battery, and here is the battery cavity, and we just turn the little lever to match that white dot, and then we can pull this off. And these are rechargeable, and they actually hold a charge for 5 hours, which I thought was pretty impressive. And then there were 2 of them, so it was really easy to be able to have 10 hours of runtime on this optic. We have a rubberized eyepiece here at the back. This can be removed, but this really helps protect your eye in any kind of recoil, and it just kind of focuses in your eye, especially at night. Now, this can be used during the day, or it can be used at night. And one of the things about a thermal scope is it picks up heat signatures. So you may not be able to see someone even in the daylight, just right out in the woods, or for that matter, any kind of game. But if you're using your thermal, you can typically pick up the heat source and at least investigate to see what it is. So one of the things I really love about thermal over standard night vision, which I love night vision and there is a place for it as well. But with the thermal, you're able to pick up those heat signatures, and that's a huge plus. Now also, this has a lot of durability to it, and you can fire up to 375 H&H Magnum or even a 12 gauge shotgun, so it'll handle it. To get started on the controls, very intuitive. First off, you have your power button right here on the side, and you just push it down and it'll bring the optic up. To turn it off, you just press and hold, and there'll be a prompt come up on the screen. It takes 3 seconds to turn it off. So this isn't just going to turn off. And then we have our USB-C port right here where we can actually transfer video and photos, and it does audio. So this has a video camera built in, and that way you can record your shots, or if you're doing surveillance or even security, you can get this on video. And the video is a 1024 by 768 resolution. Really, for thermal, it's a decent size. And when you are videoing, there'll be a timer that sets up in the right part of the screen, and so then you can tell exactly when you have your camera on and when you have it off. Now this also has Wi-Fi, and it's actually built in. You take your phone, connect to the Wi-Fi, it'll actually come up as the Storm S6, and you can manipulate a lot of the controls right there with your phone. But what's really cool is that you can live stream off of the optic directly with your phone. Of course, there's an app that you download to be able to access that Wi-Fi. You don't have to have the app to use this scope with all the different menu settings that are on there. Now, one thing too about your power mode is that you can actually press it and go into standby, and then press it again, it'll come off standby, and it states it right there on the screen. The laser rangefinder, or LRF, is right here on the side of the optic. It's very small, and yet it'll get out to 1,300 yards. And you can program ballistics into the optic through your app. You can range distance, reads it out on the screen. It tells you exactly what distance you are for different objects. But the actual detection distance is 1,969 yards. Now, for practical use and really ID range, it's going to be between 400 and 500 yards. And you don't really want to take a shot past that. You're going to want to be able to identify. Now, because of its size, again, weighing about 1 pound, it's not only a great optic on your rifle, but it's also a great monocular. And so I can use this, don't want to point my rifle at anybody, or if I just need to go out and do some surveillance, or I'm scouting out a certain area for deer or hogs or whatever I'm looking for. It's only 8 inches in total length with the eye cup. Now, we also have picture-in-picture, or PIP. And so that just gives you the option to be able to look at your standard magnification, hit picture-in-picture, and it goes into a highly magnified small box where you can get pinpoint shots. And that's especially if you're hunting or even again in surveillance. This is a very intuitive and simple system, but there are a lot of features, so you can really get in the weeds if you want to. But first off, you have your menu button. And this just goes to different menus using these 4 buttons. Now, you can use these 4 buttons right up front, and this is really what you're typically going to use most of the time. Now, here is your magnification button, and this will go from your 2x, which is built in, to 3x, and then you can go to 4x, and then the top is 8x. It gives you really good magnification just by pressing this button and toggling through. It'll be marked right there on the screen. But then you can go to your color palette mode. And so we can go through each of the different screen colors, and there are 5 different ones. White hot, which is something that I really like, and the black hot looks really good. Then you can go to red hot, then red monochrome, green monochrome, and then color, full color. And then it cycles back to white hot. This gives you the color that you really like, that you prefer. Then we have our reticle button here on the other side. There are 32 different reticle choices, and there are 4 colors and there are 8 different styles. So you can go through each of the reticles and pick out what reticle really suits you for whatever mission you're on. You know, it may be hunting, it may be longer range distance. You want to use that reticle sight, or you can even go to just a dot. And then we have our video button, or our camera button. I really like this camera feature because number one, it's 1024 by 768 display. So it gives you a really nice big picture if you're going to download this onto your computer. But again, you can also take pictures, and you can download this directly, your USB-C, to your computer or to your phone. And you can download the video and the pictures directly to your phone. And you do that through the app. And you can do live streaming through the app, and again, this is Wi-Fi. But one of the things about the image quality is this has the NETD 20 millikelvins. Now, that's pretty good. The lower the millikelvins, the better. And the NETD stands for Noise Equivalent Temperature Difference. So it will actually adjust to slight variations in the temperature. And that's where your thermal comes in, because it is based on temperature. And so even if it's raining, you're having bad weather, this is going to be able to make the adjustments for you to be able to find what you're looking for. It's IP67, which means it's waterproof. You definitely have a small little cover for your USB-C that goes right here, and you're going to want to make sure that that is fully secured. But any kind of weather, you're not going to have any issues. And then right here is your power button, and you just press it and hold, and then the screen pops up. Now the power button also is a standby button. So if I want to just put it in standby, I can just press the button and release, and it'll go to standby, press and release, and it comes off of standby. Now guys, you get an owner's manual, and it has all the information about the buttons and how to go through the menu. But also they offer some thermal targets. These are excellent, and they're just round circles. They're actually heat activated when you open them up, and it has an adhesive on the back where it just goes right to your target. When you're looking through thermal, you see the paper, but you don't see any detail because it's picking up heat signature. So having this really saves you a lot of time. Plus, you can adjust your reticle in the menu, so it makes it really easy to do. Now when it comes to price, again, Rix offers a number of different options in the Storm configuration, but also full dedicated rifle scopes and binoculars and a lot of other things. The price on the S1 starts out at $749. Now it's a lot lower resolution, and it doesn't have all the features that the S6 has. There's the S3, which steps it up, and I believe that's $21.99. Then we go to the Storm S6R, and then this gets up to $31.99, which for the features that this has, that's a very reasonable scope. You have a lot of different options. In fact, they're still offering the S6 without the laser rangefinder if that's what you want, and the price is considerably less. But if you really want top notch, the Storm S6R is very capable of whatever you're doing. Guys, if you're looking for a high quality thermal scope that's very adaptable, whether it's on your rifle, as a binocular, for hunting, for surveillance, again, for home defense, this makes a great option. There are so many cool features, and it's just that cool size that doesn't weigh too much on your rifle, which a lot of thermals do. So check out the Rix Optics Storm and their other line of thermal scopes. They have a number of different, really to fit your price range. But if you want something top-notch, the Storm S6R is really excellent. And again, a big thank you to Rix Optics for sending the Storm S6R for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. I want to give a big thank you to Rix Optics for sending the Storm S6R. It actually detects temperature. I said that. I done said that. I want to give a big thank you to Rix Optics for sending the Storm. And we have a CR123. Oops, I can't do that right now because I ain't got the dang battery. Also, it runs on an 18650 battery, and it's very easy. Okay, you can only see. You can't see. The plane, boss, the plane. We have a lot of planes fly over.